Hello, everybody. All right. Almost started late there. Almost, but didn't quite start late. Okay. Let me... Come on. Just gonna let people know that my stream is live. Okay. And let me let... Alrighty. Wonder what Silva's up to. Should I message Silva? Should I leave him alone? He's probably doing Final Fantasy XIV things like always. Yeah, let's bug Silva. Okay. Oh, you are here, Silva. Okay. Hello, Silva. It's... You're actually over there. Where is over there? It's under here. Under where? Huh? You got me. You got me to say underwear. Got the family-friendly strimmer to say underwear. Yup. Silva is your bye. Well, you know what's under there. Ah, so we have to define that what's yabai is Silva, not the underwear. So I was gonna say I wear pretty tame underwear myself. I don't know. I've seen some of the anime that you watch, Silva. Yes, Silva lied as easily as they breathed. What, me? Are you talking about me? I'm a... Well, yeah, I've watched some very mature things in the past. Mm-hmm. Yes. So what's this, Silva? You sent me something on Facebook about some anime that just got released on Gundam Info. What's going on with that? Said there was something you thought was some side story you thought was only a manga that got an anime that was released on Gundam Info, and you're like, we totally have to watch this or something. Stargazer, right? That's the one with the weird gun. Isn't that the one with the weird Gundam that's got that like big halo thing on its back to help it with deep space exploration or something? Yeah, I remember that. And that just got released on Gundam Info. Oh, that's cool. How many episodes is it? Oh, it's 3 episodes? How long are the episodes? Are they like hour-long episodes? Ah. That's pretty. That sounds like this should be pretty interesting. After we watch G-Witch, we could watch Stargazer. That sounds like it could be interesting. So I have had a super busy day today. I had a doctor's appointment at like 9 a.m. this morning, which meant I had to be awake at like 8 something. I had to be out the door at like 8:45, 8:50 because it's like a 10 to 15 minute walk from my house to my doctor's office, but it's a walk. It's uphill going there and downhill coming back. So it was actually really funny because my roommate got up early in order to get his kid on the bus, right? And then he just like conked back out and went back to sleep. And it was as he was going, like, shortly after he went back to sleep was when I finally dragged myself out of bed. And I'd been kind of waking up when he was dealing with the kid situation. No, it is not 4 miles uphill both ways through the snow. We don't even have snow yet. It's like in the mid to upper 70s here. It's been getting warm. Yes, Nabaru, we're specifically talking about your trip to school and how you had to go. Nanny nanny boo boo. Yeah, we're in fall. No, you don't. You love it there, Silva. That's if you hated it there, you would have moved forever ago. But yeah, like it was really. Well, you said I hate it here, and I'm like, you don't hate it there. If you hated it down there, I'm sure you would have moved. I believe that you're not a complete glutton for punishment. Oh, 12-hour school. Oh, Nabiru, were you since you said didn't you say you were like in Alaska or something? Were like were the day isn't that a thing like way up north in that area like the days are like 12 hours long or something? The 90s was a different sort of beast. Oh, okay. You could stay in school. Oh goodness, Silva. It looks like the auto mod caught you. You can't say naughty words, Silva. In all caps, too. Look at you yelling. Naughty, naughty. You hated school? I have no idea how school operates now. Yeah, I have no idea, Nabaru. But yeah, I feel you there, Silva. I had an interesting relationship with school. Like, there were so many expectations that I was going to do great things, that I was going to be this great leader, that I was going to accomplish all of these great things. And it always felt great to have those great expectations because it was like, yeah, this is setting me up for greatness or whatever. Oh, really, Nabaru? Yeah, so like I had an interesting, I guess an interesting interaction with like uh whatchamacallit with school. When I was in school, when I was in like in high school, even through parts of college, I was a completely different person. Winter, you had maybe 4 or 5 hours of sun. Oh, okay, so it was summer days that were long. Okay, I don't know how it works. I don't know how the weather works. I just deal with every day at a time. Summer, i.e., not freezing. Okay. Did you play any sports, Nabiru? Since you said you were at school for so long, I was just curious. But Silva, if you could name, was there anything skied, snowboarded, typical? Okay, all right, Nabiru, that sounds fun. But Silva, could you name anything about school that you actually enjoyed? Recess. Hmm. Uh, what I enjoyed after the Bell program and work co-op, like most teachers were cool. I just wish they actually followed through with the BS zero tolerance bullying policy. Yeah, bullying. Bullying is a problem. That's really all I can say about that. You were, what's this? Nabaru says that she was a harem main character. Nabaru has always been yabai. Oh, you were that level of dense. Okay. So for me, going to school was interesting because, like, my parents wanted to set me up for success as early as possible. Um, they worked really hard, made a lot of sacrifices to get me into private schools because they thought that would get me on the fast track to success, which is what any parent wants for their kids. The problem was that, like, at some point in the middle of all of that, the focus became more on the success and less on me as a person. At least that's what it felt like. But it's like, it's weird when you're a kid because you don't see everything. You see bits and pieces, and it's just really complicated. Like, when I was at the end of my 3rd grade year in school, I was selected to be in a scholarship program that from 4th grade onward was continuously training me in order to be prepared for the SATs, the ACTs, and for getting into college. Like, from 4th grade onward, I was studying about college entrance exams, about scholarship applications, all that stuff. And it created this expectation in me that I was going to go to college and be really successful. And, like, on paper, that seems like a great program, right? But when that became this defining thing for me, I got completely caught up in it, and, like, just didn't really develop myself as a person. Or at least the person how do I put this? It's so hard to describe. Because, like, a lot of people invested in me. They wanted to see great things come from me. They wanted to see me do great things and become this kind of leader, capable person. But that's not really how I turned out. And it's weird when I look back on some of the people that I went to school with and see how functional and capable they are. You know, some of the people that were my peers. Yeah. And so that thing with anime schools being not like regular schools, being the fact that anime schools are like that, I have no idea what Japanese school life is like. I have no idea. So I don't know how much of that fantasy of this ideal anime school is just fantasy, or it's just an extrapolation of some tropes from Japanese school. Yeah, I would probably ask. Yeah, our mutual friend who went to school in Japan. I could ask that, but it's not really been something, like, it hasn't been a burning question in my mind. How do we even get in the topic of school? Oh, right. We got so sidetracked. I was talking about going to my doctor's appointment, and Silva made a joke about walking uphill 4 miles in the snow both ways, and then we started talking about school. Yes, Nabaru and her 12-hour school days. So I went to the doctor's office, and it's really funny. I went to the doctor's office. I had to wait longer because apparently the nurse wasn't in today, or so my doctor had to do all of the things by herself. Yeah. Get dropped off at 7 a.m. and picked up at 6 or 7 p.m. Yeah, that sounds about right now, bro. That sounds like 12 hours. So my doctor had to do everything else herself. Had to do everything herself, check people in, do everything. And I was supposed to get my blood drawn for some blood tests. But they had to outsource that and be like, hey, go across the hall and go to the lab that we're kind of partnered with that's in the same building and get them to draw your blood because I don't have time to draw your blood because I have so many other patients waiting. And they were so behind schedule. I thought I was going to be late, but I ended up waiting an extra half hour. And then my doctor was kind of rushing through the appointment. I could tell she was rushing. She because we didn't stop to ask like if there was anything else. And there was a couple things I wanted to talk about, but I'll bring it up at the follow-up call. But found out I'm down to 217.6 pounds. Yay. Yeah. Last time I was weighed was like 5 or 6 months ago. It was like between 4 to 6 months ago. Oh, that's really cool, Silva. That pandemic 100. So it's really weird what happened with me in the pandemic. I started losing weight. So like they always say, like the general knowledge is whenever you go vegan, you lose a bunch of weight, right? That's the general accepted thing about like, you know, having healthier diet, all that other stuff, right? When I went vegan, it was right when my dad died. And I was binge eating. I was inhaling food. I was eating like an unhealthy quantity of food. Yes, it's portion control. I had absolutely no portion control for years. So when I attribute, like, as much as I was eating through my grief, I attribute going vegan to probably being the only reason I didn't eat myself to death. Because had I been consuming anything with any amount of cholesterol or any relevant quantity of fat, I don't think I would have made it with the quantities I was eating. If I was still living on McDonald's cheeseburgers and all that jazz. And so that was a whole experience. But within the last few years, especially with the pandemic, I finally started cooking at home more. The place I was staying at before, I had a lot more space to cook. And I started getting help mentally, so I was taking medication. And I've been doing regular exercise. And that's all been leading towards just healthier lifestyle. Like I was at like 232. Yeah. And that was down from like 240 that I'd been at before, so I didn't get myself weighed for a long time because I hadn't been into the doctor because of the pandemic. So when I got weighed, like it was like between 4 to 6 months ago, I was like 232, and that was down from the 240 that I'd been like a year beforehand. So they're like, yeah, you're losing weight. And I'm like, and I always have this fear with losing weight that I'm gonna suddenly gain it back. That I'm gonna blink and I'm gonna be fat again. And I was really worried because since I moved, I've been eating a lot of ramen. I've been eating a lot of, like, there's been a lot of carbs, but I've been trying to balance it with proteins and with vegetables. And I've been trying to have this balanced diet, but I've also been consistently eating smaller portions. which has been kind of a necessity because I haven't had as much food. I haven't been in a house with food. I'm in a house where we are strapped for food. It is a struggle for, not a struggle. Struggle is too strong of a word. It is, what's a better word for struggle? Like, it's not as hard as a struggle, but it is, I guess, a process for us to make it through the month and still have food. There is budgeting, there's a lot of stuff involved with making it through the month. And that's been, and there's been a lot of times where, like, because I have such limited money and I have to conserve my money, especially if I want to spend it on things I want, right? Like, the whole thing with me getting that gaming computer, I'm like, I got this gaming computer, and in order to save up for that, in order to be able to justify that, I had to like stop. I had to not eat out for a long time. Which for a while it was because I didn't have money, but then when I got money, I had to not instantly go spend it all. So that's a thing. Like, just being sure to be in control of my money and being in portion control. So that was cool. And then I also got my flu shot today, and I got my booster shot for the COVID. Got my booster shot for it. Then I went and I picked up all my medication from the pharmacy. And then after I picked up my medication, I walked back home. Then after I got back home, I made myself food. I made myself 2 packets of ramen noodles along with some frozen vegetables and a little bit of vegan beef crumble. So I made that, and I had done all of that, and then crawled back into bed after all of that, and my roommate still hadn't gotten back up. And it was hilarious. Well, I thought it was hilarious. That I'd just gone on this whole adventure, and my roommate had been asleep the entire time. As far as I know, I don't think, because he was in the same position when I got back. But then I was just exhausted afterwards because it was a long walk. And then I had to have this talk with myself, right? Because I could have ordered delivery food. I was like, I could order delivery food. I have some money in my bank account. But then I had to be like, well, listen, you might have to pay like, you're probably gonna have to pay for shipping costs to get your computer sent to you. And don't you want to get that model? Every bit adds up. So today, let's eat the food that's at home, and we'll eat out at some other point, but not today. And had to have that conversation where it's just like, no, we got food at home conversation. You know what I mean? Okay, Silva. Yes. That is the biggest struggle. Like, do you uh eating what you got at home, or ordering? And I have some tofu in the freezer that I took out the freezer today so it could start thawing for tomorrow. If you have DiGiorno pizza brought to you via Instant Cart or other grocery delivery service, is it still DiGiorno? Because it was delivery, and they say if it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. You got plenty to eat, but no one wants to cook. Oh, Because cooking takes effort. So I'm gonna ask, because my one of my roommates has Amazon Prime. So I'm gonna ask one of my roommates to order something that I want to use for cooking, because I've had it at restaurants before, but I'm like, it'll be cheaper to buy it for myself and use it for cooking myself. But then that means I'm actually gonna have to cook it, so I don't know if I'm actually going to have the energy to cook with it. Let me get a picture of it. Mm-hmm. Here we go. So these things are called soy curls, right? They're these dehydrated soy pieces, but it uses the whole bean, and it's a lot less processed than like texture vegetable protein and a lot of the other stuff that I get. Because the other stuff I get is like usually defatted and um, just really processed stuff packed with a lot of salt. This doesn't have any of that stuff. This is literally just only made of soybean. It is 100% made of soybean that has been lightly processed and stretched out. And when you the thing is, it has no flavor in and of itself. Well, it has the light soy flavor, right? But like, it takes on the flavor because it soaks up like a sponge. It takes on the flavor of anything you cook it in. Like, look at that. Look at get a picture. Give me a good picture. Like, see the kind of threads and stuff? Like, doesn't that look like chicken? And if you cook it in a vegan chicken broth, it can taste like chicken. I want a coupon. Go away. Wasted and broke. I've never heard of that. But the thing is, with Prime shipping, we can order it and then have it here later on in the week, right? So I'm probably gonna talk to one of my roommates and be like, "Hey, buddy, let's get this, because I can buy them in like a few bags, and you rehydrate them, and they're relatively simple to cook. You just I've seen some really great recipes with them, and one of the main things I've seen done with them is to like make some kind of a marinade. Hello, lazy one with the name. The bot would probably. Okay, Nabiru. So the thing with the soy curls that I've seen is, since it absorbs the flavor of whatever you soak it in, whatever you cook it in, while the instructions say to like reheat it in boiling water, where you boil the water, then you pour it into a heat-proof bowl with the soy curls in it, which is another thing. I probably should get a heat-proof bowl, because I don't think we have a heat-proof bowl where I live now. So I'll probably get one of those. And what I've seen some people do is they'll put seasonings and stuff. Like, they'll put some, like, they'll use some like bouillon, and use some like some pepper, and I haven't seen MSG yet. I'm surprised I haven't seen MSG, but they'll use like soy sauce and stuff, and they'll add that to the boiling water. And then once the soy curls have soaked that in for 10 minutes, then what this one YouTuber was doing was they were taking them and then cooking them in that broth. They would add some of that broth that they used in order to. All right, I'll take a look at it, Nabaru. Where they would cook it in that broth that they'd use to rehydrate it in order to make sure as much of that flavor as possible got like absorbed into it. Like they would add a little bit of the broth, cook it till that broth was absorbed or had evaporated, add a little bit more broth, and keep going till they'd used all the broth. And I'm like, that is really simple, and that's probably something I could do. That's probably something I could do relatively easily. And then just have soy curls. But there's another thing of like, we don't have a lot of containers at the house for like storing leftovers. And that used to be one of my big things where I would but this was when I was cooking a lot more, where I would make a bunch of food and then store it in containers to eat later. But like it's kind of like we also don't have very much space. So then there's all these things. There's always something. But like I know I need to start cooking more. I can't keep eating these high salt foods. I can't keep eating all of these really expensive like all these really expensive meat substitutes. I need to start looking for something cheaper if I want to make sure that I'm surviving, and not just surviving but thriving. So I'm hoping soy curls will be a step in the right direction. Some people like to fry them up and batter them and fry them. I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far. I'd probably make something like this because we use bag rice because we don't have a rice cooker. I'd love to make something like this, a big pot of curry, and then just have a little bit at a time as I go. Okay, let me rephrase that. I would like to have a big pot of curry. I would not like to cook a big pot of curry. All right, let me take a look at this meme that Nabaru sent in memes. What? What? Okay. I just saw the thing. I just saw the camphor reference in there. So I'm a be a terrible weeb right now. I'm gonna be a terrible weeb right now, Nabaru, and I gotta ask, right? On that camphor meme that you posted. Oh, is that other one? Is that one on the right? I think I've heard of that. It's actually called camphor, right? And like, don't they have like some kind of like superpowers or something? I think I've heard of that because I recognize the little tiger thing in the corner with the eye patch. Because like, isn't he kind of like their mascot or something? Obviously, I know the mobile suit camphor. Okay, if you say so, Silva. Demonic plushies with plush entrails that grant you powers. Okay. That sounds about right. all the powers are German names. Okay. While I have this open, can I order straight from Butler Foods? How much are they straight from Butler Foods? Oh, they don't have any. Okay, that's after you cook them because they're dried. Okay. Ah, someone must have been talking about me. Give me 1 second. All right. That's better. Yeah, I saw the ramen types. Those were goofy. Keep in a closed container, fridge, ready for quick use recipes. Soups over rice feed. Yada yada. Is there a place on here where to buy? Product. Oh wow, 6 8-ounce bags. Yeah, but that's plus $11 in shipping. That's $35. Let me see where does this link take me? This takes me to their own store, so I could order directly from them. So I could order directly from them. That could be a thing. Anyway, I got distracted, but like that is something that I'm debating doing. To just there's a librarian that turns into a crazy gun lover. My favorite is, of course, your favorite's the say-so one, Nabaru, because everyone knows you're the more say-so between the two of you. Hold on 1 second. Very say-so, but she will help you do a lot without asking for much in return. Is there some like secondary meaning to that, Nabaru? Is there some kind of secondary meaning to that? spoilers. So real quick before we get started, because we do need to actually get to the writing at some point. I gotta try sending a really nice message to Chibidoki, because I just saw Chibidoki make a comment where apparently people are trying to guilt trip her for not responding to their DM, so I'm gonna send her a really nice DM. Just gonna send a quick little nice note saying, because Chibidoki was saying that people were trying to guilt trip her for not responding to their DMs, so I'm gonna send her a nice little DM that just says, you don't have to respond to this. I just want to tell you that you're amazing. Your content's top notch. I want you to know there are people who appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and you get to make great progress on all your goals. There. Just saying a nice thing real quick. But I feel like I've seen Camphor before. I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything about it. I don't even know if I finished it. I don't even know if I finished it. Who's way to say so? Who, me? Are you saying I'm way to say so? Excuse you. I'm a super intense mech pilot who fights dark forces. I'm not say so. I'm bad to the bone. I'm as bad as they come. It's funny. I showed my roommate the thumbnail that I have for this. I don't know if you noticed, but the thumbnail for today's video is different. I feature my new model in the thumbnail. And my roommate looked at it. He's like, "Your avatar looks like a gym leader." And I'm like, "Do I really look like a gym leader?" I'm like, "Do I really look like a gym leader?" Tell me, chat. Do I look like a gym leader? Some kind of Pokemon gym leader? It's not the look I'm going for, but I just give it to me straight, chat. In the Ultra Beasts world, ooh, that could be interesting. I'm not sure. Are the Ultra Beasts one of the things from like? Was that from Sun? Was that from Sun and Moon? The last one I played was Sun. All right, so let's actually start heading towards the writing portion of the writing stream. Who'd have thunk it? We're getting writing done on the writing stream. So this is my story I've got so far. It got it kind of got developed a little bit. I've gotten some progress, but I think I might have to go back and redo some of it. I'm not keeping track. I'm not like splitting this into chapters yet, and I'm not like I haven't named the chapters. And I'm just kind of going as I go right now. Because many VTuber avatars, especially Vroid, have that sort of style. Oh, okay. Ultra Beasts are not Pokemon as we know them. They're from an alternate world. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. 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 I can dig that. I can dig that. So I have a conundrum that I would like chat to weigh in on. And I think you two who are here are definitely gonna be some of the perfect ones to weigh in on this. We're doing some audience participation. You get to help shape the lore, because the lore is technically for you. Well, not you two specifically, but it's for chat. Like, lore is for the viewers. You ready? Are you ready for this important task, chat? So, my question that I'm dealing with right now is how are the Star Hunter machines controlled? What type of piloting system do they use? Is my character going to be in a pilot seat operating this? Is my character going to be standing up operating this machine? What is the control system going to be for my giant robot? I am at an impasse because there are a variety of ways to do this, right? How I have it written right now is that it's a control seat with a control panel, two joysticks with a bunch of buttons, and 4 pedals. That kind of feels a little bit too real robot, a little bit too sci-fi, not enough fantasy. There's Silva. Silva's, are you poking your head up from Final Fantasy 14? Among other things. Okay, Silva. So, My question is that I would like input on. Put your thinking caps on. How should I control my giant robot? Should my character be using like a G Gundam style system where like I move, it moves? Should I be doing... I was thinking... yeah, G Gundam where I move, it moves. So that's how I have it written right now, is kind of a real robot Macross style kind of thing. We've got the 2 joysticks, the foot pedals, and the control panel. Oh, you like the G Gundam, the rubber suits, the like latex looking control suits, Nabiru? Are you thinking some yabai things? Yeah, I like the way Gravion's suit, like the main pilot of Gravion does it, where like he has like a control ring around him, and like where he moves, it moves. Yeah, other shows did it too. But then this also brings up another question, chat. This brings up another question that I've got to tackle, right? What is the MacGuffin that my character will use to summon his giant robot? What is the doodad, the gizmo? We don't talk about that, all right? We don't talk about that, Nabiru. Spray bottle, bad. Because I just, like, I know, like... Yes, the hiss. So, but I also need to figure out what is the gizmo, the doodad, the morpher, the thing that my character will use in order to summon the giant robots. Interesting, Nabiru. Interesting. I could go... What was that? What was... I don't know. Like, it has to be... So, for plot purposes, right? Whatever this gizmo is, it has to be some kind of a doodad that a teenager could feasibly hide on their person or keep on them and not have people notice. I'm not super fond of like a watch because I don't like watches. Ooh, key sounds interesting, Nabiru. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't want it to just be a way to start up the mech. I want it to be a thing that activates and that causes the mech to appear out of a subspace portal. Anyway, while you're thinking on that, I'm going to rewrite this portion. I've got to rewrite this entire portion for a different control system and see if I like it better. That's true. So here ages, you found the kids. So first, I'm going to copy this. Okay, so I copied that just so I can have it. So if I don't like what I come up with, I can change it. Well, didn't see that coming. Nabiru, you have my attention. Okay, but I can't call it Starbucks because they're not sponsoring me and I'm not giving them free advertising. Wait. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I just had a brainwave. Nabiru, you might be a genius. Nabiru, you might be a genius. Nabiru, you might be a genius. Okay. Hold on. Let me take this. No. We're okay. We're about to play some 4D chess right here, okay? You ready to play some 4D chess? Okay. That is not the button I wanted. That is the button I wanted. Okay. All right. All right. How big are... Wait, first off, Hold on, let me see how big Starbucks thermoses are. Because this might not work. How big are these things? Okay. Let me see. Let me take a look at this. So it's a little bit larger than your hand. Okay. No, but like, so it's got to be some. I've got a brainwave. I've got a brainwave. You might be a genius, Nabiru. All right, so that's not large. So I can write in the story and say that all of the kids who got in the car at the beginning of the story had a thermos with them. No, but follow me on this, right? All right, follow me on this, right, Nabiru? We're about to go down this rabbit hole, okay? These are star-powered mechs, and that's a Starbucks thermos. Thermoses keep things warm, so it's like it's containing the heat of the star. And coffee's a pick-me-up that gives you the energy and motivation to accomplish your goals, and that's what the mech runs on. So what if it's a coffee-powered mech, which is funny because I don't drink coffee. Okay, maybe coffee-powered mech's a bit much. That might be taking it a bit far. That's not the button I wanted. Okay. Uh, Star hunk or star dough. Yeah, I know. I got where you were going with that, Nabaru. I got exactly where you were going with that. I got exactly where you were going with that. Okay. All right. Hmm. Oh, what show was that, Nabaru? Okay. All right. So now let's start rewriting this. He did use it. He did use it. I just realized. Hold on. Nabiru. Star Doe works on multiple levels. Because a doe is the female buck, right? But also, whenever you have money, you say you have some bucks. That's how many bucks you have, right? But money can also be called dough, like, oh, making that bread got that dough. So Star Doe actually works. Hold on, Nabiru. I am slowly beginning to understand your genius. I am slowly beginning to understand your 4D chess. Your big thoughts 5-head thing. Yes. Yes, it's so good. The thermoses? Okay. Yes, I gotta make note of this. Kalos Gym Leader Grant, can you post a picture in memes? We'll do a comparison. I won't be able to unsee it. Oh, I'm scared, Nabiru. I'm scared, Nabiru. What is it? I'm scared, Nabiru. I'm looking at the meme chat. Okay, let's see. That's weird. It just posted, hey, Goldfish. Working on story stuff. Let me see this. I don't know that you could say my character's related to to that character. Like, yeah, that character is wearing a black shirt, which is kind of like my black bodysuit kind of thing. What are those? Are those gloves he's wearing? I don't know, maybe? I could kind of see it. The multicolored gems in the hair also look really cool. Hey, Goldfish. Yeah, we're working on some story stuff. Been cranking out some story ideas. Making some notes about the story in the middle of the drafting, which is funny because like doing these notes is not supposed to be exactly something you're doing in the drafting process, especially during National Novel Writer Month. But you know what, YOLO. Yes. Yeah, I guess. I guess you could say that, Nabaru. I guess so. Yes. Well, at least the summoning device. Kind of. We're working that out now, and it's kind of cringe, and I'm loving it. We're doing. I have an idea for the control system. I'm going to get some inspiration from an anime called Guy King, which is where it kind of split the difference and did both. In which the mech has a regular, like it has a control, it has a seat with joysticks and whatever for a control system, but it can enter manual control mode in which the seat pulls back and a gauntlet appears on the operator's hand, and then it mimics the operator's movements. So I'm gonna kind of split the difference and say that every all the Star Hunter machines have the potential to do all of the control systems depending on the Star Hunter's preference. And that my cybernetic suit was originally part of the control system. Yes, the power glove. It's so. Let me find a picture of. Is there any pictures of it? Nope. Oh, guess not. Okay. Yes, a bootleg video game controller. So I was gonna see if I could find a picture of the control gauntlet from Guy King in order to show you what I was thinking, but I like your idea better. It's funnier. Oh. Oh, wait. Wait, I had an idea. I had an idea, chat. I had an idea. What if... the Stardo Thermos summons the mech. So we're going on this joke, right? Because the gimmick is that the mech is powered by a combination of the pilot's starlight compatibility, their ability to draw power from the stars, and also their drive to accomplish their goals. It's like willpower, but more specific. Their motivation and passion for accomplishing their goals. And the joke here is that a lot of people use coffee as a supplement to achieve that goal. So the summoning device for the mech is a coffee thermos. And then I was thinking, yes, determination juice. And then I was thinking, then what if the thermos, once you're inside the mech, it expands to become your cybernetic suit? I don't know. I'm still workshopping, but I'm just trying to figure out what happens once you get inside the mech with the thermos. Ooh. That's an idea, Goldfish. That's an idea. I'm making notes. That's what I'm kind of thinking about. I'm kind of leaning towards that like there's a thermos, there's... Ooh. Wait. Hold on. So what if the mech has a cup holder, but then when you slide the thermos into it, the thermos goes all the way down, so then there's just the handle poking up. There's just like the top part where you can grip it and pull it out. And that initializes the mech. Mm-hmm. Insert then twist to lock into place. Okay. I'm liking that one. I'm liking idea 3. Yes, for an otherwise innocuous item. And it also lets the thermos and the mech and the super suit and the cybernetic suit be separate. Okay. And if it's not obvious, Star Doe is a play on Starbucks because a doe is a female buck. And also, buck is another word that's used to refer to money, as in it's a number of bucks. But if you have a lot of money, it's referred to as having a lot of dough, but that's usually referring to dough as in bread dough. So it's a double pun. It's one of those things that I don't think works in any other language, but I feel like works really well in English. Nabaru came up with it. That was definitely Nabaru who came up with it. So big ups to Nabaru for thinking up that. That is absolute genius. All right, so now actually I don't have to change as much as I thought I did. Mm. So what's happening in this story is I first had the introduction that introduced the Star Hunters, where they came and they said they're here to defend the planet. The sky cracks open and these dark machines. Now, up to this point, the bad guys have only been referred to as the Dark Machines. I'm going to give them their real name once Orion becomes trained as a Star Hunter. And then we have the next thing that talks about how people are adapting to this new life, where these giant evil robots will appear and attack, but then good robots will show up out of the blue and fight them off, right? And everyone is kind of adjusting to this reality, but then suddenly new, larger dark machines start appearing. These new, larger dark machines are wielding weapons made of burning black energy that seem to cut through the Star Hunters. And it seems to be them fighting to an absolute draw. The first time it happens, part of Europe gets leveled, right? And so after getting into that general kind of third person omniscient narrator, well, not really omniscient, but that like kind of narrator sense, we slide into the story of one man going about his life, and that tells the story of Orion, who is a boober driver, which is essentially like this play on Uber. And he picks up these teens, and then they're in the middle of going for a drive, and he sees that, like, hey, listen, I thought it was funny, and I've been an Uber driver for a long time. So, well, I was an Uber driver for a long time when I was still working. And oh, that needs to be, there we go. And so Orion sees that something's wrong, right? These teens were looking back and forth at each other, not saying a word out loud, but their body language is screaming, and each of them had some kind of injury. One had an arm in a sling, another had bandages around their head, and so on. Well, I haven't mentioned that it's called Boober yet in the story. What would help if let me put that on my notes. Yeah, I put Boober driver. I put it in my notes. And so as he's getting ready to confront them with like, hey, what's wrong? The dark machines attack. And then he's like addled and rattled as the car gets like, as one of the dark machines just kicks the car that they're in. They go flying. And as he's struggling to get out of the car, the kids are able to very swiftly and quickly crawl out of the car. He hears them shout something, then he hears the sounds of combat. And then when he gets out of the car, he sees the Star Hunters fighting the dark machines. And his brain's able to put two and two together. His addled brain, it just makes the obvious leap of logic that these kids must be the Star Hunters. And he sees one of them get taken down by this dark energy whip. And this machine is laying into the Star Hunter machine, and he's like, I've got to get that kid out of that machine before he gets crushed under all of those attacks. He sees what looks like a door on the backside of the machine, and he tries to crawl his way. He tries to crawl his way up to get the kid out, but when he gets in there, he sees the kid's been thrown out of the cockpit. I mean, not thrown out of the cockpit, thrown out of the pilot seat, and is like laying on the side of the cockpit because there's a sphere inside with images, so it's showing everything around him. And there's a pilot seat with controls. But the kid won't retreat. He won't give up. He just says, Star Hunters don't give up. And the kid's just like crying as he's speaking, right, with this emotion. And Orian is shook. He's rattled. He's still recovering from being in a car accident that threw him, that threw him off the road. And this kid is wriggling and struggling against him every time he tries to get the kid towards the door. And then all of a sudden the machine rolls over and he can't get to the door because the door is now above him instead of being below him. So, or maybe it's beside him, but anyway, it's not where it was. And so the kid's like, well, you couldn't have got in here if you didn't have the power to pilot this machine. I'm too injured to pilot. You pilot the machine. And so that leads into Orian's first time piloting the machine. And after Orian gets it up with the manual, I don't know what to call it. I don't think I want to call it manual control. Then the kid switches it over to while calling it, I gotta call the names for the different modes. I guess analog and manual would be two different modes. Okay. And that's where we're at right now, is the start of the fight, in which now Orian is dressed in a cyber suit and is now trying to fight this villain, this dark machine. Oh, let me know. Let me know what it's called, Nabaru, as long as it's not anything you buy. Okay. Diebuster. I need to watch Gunbuster. I really need to watch Gunbuster. Like, I've heard really good things about Gunbuster. That's interesting, Nabaru. Breaking your limit, having no top or ceiling, but they took it semi for ripping the top off. Okay, like, I appreciate a good pun, but that doesn't feel like a good pun, Nabaru. Let me edit one thing. How many? Oh, okay. Today I was getting 3 plus 1 is 4. Let me Google something real quick, because now I'm questioning something. Sorry about that. Hope that wasn't too loud for you. All right. Okay. I just had to do some math real quick about how many kids were there because I hadn't actually figured that out. Okay. Let me edit this right here. We're settled and buckled. So that defines that there's 4 of them. 3 in the back seat, 1 sitting in the front seat. So that's right now there's 4 of them. And it was an energy whip, right? A whip or chain made of deep purple energy. Okay. All right, so here, the dark machine that was that had knocked down the machine that Orion's in, uh, had been fighting with two of the other Star Hunters who managed to pry it off of their downed ally, and it managed to break free from them and rush at the machine that Orion's in, and um, Orion manages to duck underneath its chain weapon, and then use that positioning to come in for a hook to the body, uh, a hook to the body of the dark machine, um, knocking it back, and everyone's like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And uh, Jonah, who's the boy that Orion was saving, says, "We could fight. Our driver's helping to operate the machine. He's fresh, and I believe in him." And so Orion's countering that by saying, "It's been a few years since I did any martial arts, so I don't know how much help I'll be without a weapon." All right. So, fun fact, Goldfish, that is a very accurate description of my experience with martial arts. It wasn't specifically karate. It was more boxing as well as some other MMA stuff. But yes, that is a very accurate description of my experience with martial arts. Yes, Goldfish, you hit the nail on the head there. So I am going to use that line, Goldfish. Are you okay with me using that line, or like a modification of that line? I did karate in a garage, man. What am I going to do with this monster? Because I actually really like that. Okay. So here we have an action sequence where the sword appears and the kid tells Orion to grab it. Um, and when he grabs the sword that's made of pure light, right? It's made of this brilliant blazing light. I like using different descriptors for them to describe the light. And uh the dark machine comes at him with the chain, and he's gonna uh gonna faint. What did I have it? Yeah, it fainted left, but it actually swung the chain right. But Orion saw through the feint and blocked the chain with the sword. But part of the chain started to wrap around the sword, but the blazing light of the sword burned through the chain. And then using that opening, he comes forward with a huge overhead strike and cleave straight through the dark machine, causing it to explode into waves of energy. Mm, Back in when the light returned, the other dark machines had fled back into their crack in the sky. How do you spell disappear? Hold on. D-O is only, it's only one S. Okay. D-I-S-A-P-P. Okay. Okay. Yes. Definitely easy to mix up. So the kid would have a. You're right. You're right. You are right, Goldfish. He would have a name for it. Let me go over this because I was working on names. So they're called Stygian portals. No, portal's not a good name. Stygian rifts. That's a good catch, Goldfish. I hadn't thought about that. So that's going to be an interesting thing where as the story goes on, these general terms that is being used to describe them in the beginning get replaced. Right. And over time for the reader, these terms are going to get replaced as the main character, Orian, learns these terms. Mhm. enough was. I don't know if this sentence makes sense. So, reaching into the console, turning what looked like a thermos lid, then pulling out what, sure enough, was a Stardo thermos. I think that works. I think. Put the was before the comma. What was sure enough? Ooh. A Stardo thermos. Okay. Yes, grammar is hard. Grammar is very hard. Yes. Almost Power Ranger Lost Galaxy theme. So then after the bright light disappears and they're back on the ground, Orion asks the question of, you use a thermos to summon a giant robot. And Jonah says, it's a giant robot controlled by your drive and motivation to accomplish your goals. Can you think of anything more fitting to call it forth than coffee? Yes, Nabaru is cringe, but we are all cringe here, Silva. I'm a VTuber. VTubers are cringe. Like, I don't know. I don't know what you're going for here, Silva. We're all cringe. You're cringe. Yeah, like Silva, you just showing up just to call Nabaru cringe, that's cringe. I'm just saying, that's cringe. See, my cringe sense went off. It happens when Nabaru and only Nabaru is being super cringe. I'm not a VTuber, so you shouldn't have that sort of detection ability. I just know you that well. Aw. Look how close friends you two are. You can detect when the other person's being cringe. %60 of the time it works every time. Okay, Selva. Pointing with one hand, holding their hand with the other. Yes. I finally watched the first episode of Hunter x Hunter. So like, Okusen has been like bugging me for a while. Like, they'll just consistently say, "Hey, what's it gonna take for me to convince you to watch Hunter x Hunter?" Right? And they've been saying that for a while. So we were just trying to figure out what to watch at the end of anime night because we wanted to watch one last thing before we kind of signed off. And I said, you know what? Let's watch the first episode of Hunter x Hunter so I can see what it is that you're going on about. And I watched it, and it was okay. Like, it wasn't like groundbreaking. It seemed like a pretty standard shonen setup. Seemed pretty cool. Uh, and I'm like, okay, I can see this as being cool. It's not something I'd really watch, but it seems cool. And then Okusen started explaining to me that, like, apparently partway through the series drastically changed. A new magic system got introduced, and the entire tone of the series shifted into an entirely different genre. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. So I asked Okusen, I'm like, listen, I want to meet you in the middle. I'm trying to meet you in the middle here. I don't want you to feel like I'm not listening to you. And this is something you're passionate about. Yeah, new powers, new arcs. And so I asked Okusen, I said, listen, is there one, why don't you find one episode that you feel really defines all the things you like about the show, and I'll watch that so I can try to get an idea of what it is you really like about the show. And they told me, they're like, there's not any one episode. In order for it to make sense, in order for it to make sense, I'd have to watch the entire show. And I'm like, I'm not watching 148 episodes. Like, no. And Okusen said that they'd made peace with the fact that I wasn't going to watch it. And they didn't realize that they'd been so they didn't realize that they'd been so intense about it. Mm-hmm. Swords, no powers are the same. Naruto is jutsus with elements. Fairy Tail, anyone can learn anything. Hunter x Hunter is like mixing them. Oh, okay. anything someone else could if trained enough, but you should focus your power on what your attribute is suited for because there's a limit. The Cold Lazarus told us there was a group of 4 races. Interesting, Selva. So you're saying, Nabaru, that like in Hunter x Hunter, you have your abilities that have elements, and while if you train hard enough, you could learn somebody else's ability, it's just more efficient for you to train in your own element in order to refine what your ability can do. All right, Silva, good night. We're probably going to be winding down here in a little bit anyway. We've got a lot done. I might do some more writing later tonight, but I'm probably going to end the stream soon. We've got a lot done. How much did we get done? We started... Let's see how many words we got done. We added some other stuff up there. What ability you can have, like one guy can make his power have the properties of rubber and gum, sticking to anything and stretch to take on any texture. Okay. We got about 1,000 words done, 964 words. Might do a few more words to see if I could push it to the last. I'm in the middle of a sentence, so I don't want to stop here. Oh, that's cool, Nabiru. Gon, the main character, went the Symphogear route for a while, put all his power into his fist. Oh, okay. Hmm. Geico Gecko. So it's his insurance company, instead of being Geico, which is the gecko, it's a snake. So I'm making a joke here, that uh Orion wants to file an insurance claim for his car accident for getting like drop kicked by one of the dark machines, and he's not even sure if his insurance is going to cover it. And the kid Jonah is like, yeah, the governments of the world put together a fund for it. Just tell them that it was what happened, and uh they'll bill the government for your repairs or replacement. But Jonah wants to run and scatter and get out of here and go meet up with the others. Orion's like, I'm not going anywhere until this gets dealt with, which is this idea that I think gets like brushed under the rug. And like, my brother made mention about this when we were watching Fast and the Furious one time, one of the latest Fast and the Furious movies. And he was like, they are an absolute menace. Like, he was watching all the destruction they caused to people's cars along one of their adventures, and he was like, they are ruining people's lives with the destruction they're causing to public areas. Like, who knows if people's insurance are going to cover that? If they do, what it's going to do to their credit, to their premiums, to all their stuff, what it's going to do to people's insurance, getting caught up in this save the world stuff. That was a joke I wanted to reference and I wanted to make because I think it's an interesting thing that Orion, as an adult, would have this different perspective. So there's one, if I understand this properly, Fast and the Furious 11 is supposed to be the last one. I think Vin Diesel said a while back that when he was planning out the story for the franchise, he'd only planned out 11 main movies, not counting the side movies. And I think the next one's going to be 11. Yeah. Yeah, and that was something I wanted to make a reference to here. That's funny, Nabaru. Mm-hmm. So then we're gonna. So what we're doing here in this is that there's this tension in the group where Nolan, the character you introduced before, the one who sat in the front seat, um, is just telling Orion, listen, tell them your passengers refuse medical transport. Let them take you to the hospital. They'll examine you. They'll say you got a once in a lifetime, miracle, and they'll process your car as normal. And Nolan's ready to just walk away, wash his hands of it. But then Jonah is saying, wait, we need more pilots. This dude just saved our lives. We need him. Which, while they're arguing, Orion's examining, but I wanted to also catch that he's examining his car. So he walks away. So since he's not there, I'm not going to keep like writing out their dialogue. But then Orion experiences that terrifying chill that we all are afraid of when you reach for your pocket and your phone is gone. You know that thing, like whenever like you're walking somewhere and you check phone, keys, wallet. You check your pocket, you go phone, keys, wallet, but then he reaches and phone's gone. You ever felt that terror? But then he doesn't remember. Oh, you do that quite often. Oh no, Nabiru. Yeah, so SIM card I don't need to come up with a new name for. Like that's just a piece of technology. That's not a business. I don't want to like quote names of businesses. SIM card is like it's like cell phone, it's like, telephone. I think this is a good place to stop for tonight. So it ends with them giving him their card and him saying, okay, and then him hearing the ambulance come over the ridge. Okay. All right, I think that's a good place to end, at least for the stream. I think we got a lot done. That's probably where I would end the chapter. I'm not going to put chapter names in this because I don't feel like dealing with all the stuff that I dealt with on the other one. Let's see how many words we got done tonight. I did take out a few words. Oh, we got. So it's not exactly what you want for a National Novel Writer Month kind of night, but we got 1,494 words. That's pretty good words for tonight. I think we got a good bit of words down. Total words so far on this project is 3,261. I'm probably gonna get something to eat and then probably gonna get something to eat and then come back, maybe do some more writing after I end stream. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we had fun ideas. We had a lot of fun. We went on some crazy tangents. Got a lot of writing done. Came up with some really cringe and amazing ideas for the story. I think the story is really developing really well. So I want to ask all of you in the chat right now, do you have any goals for this week? Anything you're working on? Anything that you want to get done? I mean, between this and my main work in progress, I got about 2,000 words down, which is pretty good. Oh, that's really exciting, Goldfish. What's the podcast going to be about? Or is it going to be one of those podcasts where you just talk about stuff? movies. Each one we'd watch a movie and talk about it and stuff. So would you watch a movie during the podcast, or would you watch the movie then have the podcast after you watch the movie? It'd be a review after watching it. Oh, that's really exciting. Well, I wish you the best, and I hope you make progress on your goal. I don't know what's involved with setting up a podcast or whatever, but I do wish you the best and hope you manage to make a great amount of progress on it. What about you, Nabaru? You got any goals for this week? Yeah, sounds exciting, Goldfish. Hey, deer lover! You're swinging by just as we're wrapping up. How are you doing? This is always the interesting thing about doing the longer streams where I go a little bit past 3 hours. Because like whenever you go longer, that gives more time for people to see you and come swing by chat, and you have different people come by. It's always interesting. Nothing concrete? Okay, Nabiru. I ask because I always like to know what my friends are working on. I always like to know what goals you're working towards, because I want to encourage you in any way, shape, or form I can as you move forward with chasing your goals. Give Silva some ideas and try to corrupt me during my anime nights. Oh no! Oh no, Nabiru! Trying to corrupt me with the yabai, with the yabe? No, Silva's already hyped on Gundam stuff, because apparently Silva didn't realize that Gundam Seed Stargazer got an anime, and that anime just got uploaded to, well, it's an OVA actually. Well, it has a manga, so it's not an OVA, but it got a short series. So we'll probably be watching that on Thursday. I'm not sure what the auto mod caught about that, dear lover. That's really weird. The auto mod caught your joke about Tony Chopper. Like it's a dirty joke, but he didn't use anything that was obviously dirty, unless I wonder, does the algorithm look for no Nut November in like succession? It's really weird. It's really weird, dear lover. Can't forget Luis. All right, dear lover. Sounds like you're having fun. Anyway, we're just winding down for the night. So I'm sorry you missed stream. Maybe you can go back and watch the VOD later if you want. We had some pretty good times. Yeah, this time, yeah, that's true, Nabaru. That's true. Anyway, I want to say to Silva, Nabaru, Goldfish, Dear Lover, anyone who came into chat that I'd missed, that was anyone who was lurking, or anyone who watches the VOD, I want to say to all of you that I love each and every one of you, and I believe in all of you. I think you all are wonderful and powerful and unique and special. I believe that you each bring a wonderful energy to everything you do that only you can. And I believe each of you makes this world greater just by being in it. And I am grateful every day to live in a world with you in it. Yes, that is what is it? Risu made that joke, I believe, Nabaru. Risu does it every year. I haven't seen any of Risu's stuff this year, just because. And yeah, I hope that all of you make progress on your goals this week, and that you all have a wonderful day. My next stream is actually going to be tomorrow because my Lancer game is only every other week. So next stream is going to be tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Yes, the Sneaky Scroll Risu. Not quite sure what we're going to be doing. We might do another AI art stream. Might do another stream where we just chill out and goof around with some AI art and maybe come up with some art for the airships in my main work in progress. Or maybe we'll get some more giant robot art. But I've been saving up credits for a night cafe, so we'll probably goof around with that. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. And I want you to know that I think that you're wonderful. Also, always remember the Star Hunter motto. Shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always, always, always stop to enjoy the memes. Also, if you could like this stream, it really helps the algorithm with sharing it for other people. Leave a comment of anything that you would like to see me do, any ideas you have for future content, and I would really appreciate it. If you'd like to keep up with what's going on with me on YouTube, you can subscribe and ding the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live or when I post any new content. If you want to be kept up to date with what I'm doing outside of YouTube, there's a link to my Discord in the description, as well as a link to my Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter. I'm probably going to be... I was on Twitter while streaming today. I'll probably be on Twitter after I'm done streaming. Only time I'm not really on Twitter is during the day when I'm sleeping. So yeah, that's where I'm really active there, which is why I'm really sad that apparently Twitter is imploding. If any of you know what social media site people are going to if Twitter continues to implode, somebody let me know, because I'm trying to make accounts on places because I finally am enjoying Twitter, and the VTuber Twitter and all of that stuff. Anyway, good night. And also, if you ever feel motivated to donate, to give, to improve my life or improve the stream, there's links where you can do that in the description as well. Have a wonderful night, everybody.